good morning and welcome. This is Brenda Meller bringing you back for another edition of my show, which I like to call Enthusiastically Self Employed. And I'm delighted to be here today with my very dear friend, Annette Richmond, who I finally met in person. Hey, Annette, how are you doing?
I am great. I'm so excited to be back on your show. And when we did all meet in New York, meeting you was really one of the highlights for me, I have to tell you, because I've been a fan for a long time and you are just, so much even nicer in person than you are online. So
Oh, this is great. And I have to say, same goes for you, Annette. It was like so many things. Like, we were at LinkedIn headquarters in New York. We were meeting friends. It was like meeting celebrities, but it wasn't just meeting one celebrity. It was like meeting all of your favorite celebrities in the same room at the same time. So I highly recommend when you're traveling, for folks that are listening in right now, try to make the attempt to reach out and connect with people live in person. It's such a great thing. On that note, hey, if you're watching right now, this is like my mic tap, Annette, because I don't see any comments that are coming in yet. And I always get a little worried when I don't see comments coming in, like, did the live stream work? I use StreamYard to broadcast this out, and I've been having hiccups lately with Facebook. And I don't know if anyone watching it is having similar hiccups, but what I do when I do my live stream, Annette, is I broadcast out to Brenda Meller on LinkedIn, onto my YouTube channel, which is Brenda Meller Marketing. It's all in one, and then I broadcast it out to my Facebook business page. And I keep getting error messages here. And right now it's saying we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. There may be an issue on Facebook. And I've tried like reconnecting Facebook, and I even plugged in with my Ethernet cable because they said to do that. And they also said close down all the windows. I can't do that because I have to have some of Annette's fabulous windows open in the background. I've tried everything I can, StreamYard. I don't know what the issue is, whether it's Facebook is dropping the baton. Oh my God. Have you seen that issue happening with anyone else, Annette?
I'm not on Facebook, but I've been watching a lot of LinkedIn lives lately that are dropping out and they're glitching and people are
Yeah.
talking, and then next thing you know, you're watching it and it's back to the beginning again. So
Oh no.
I don't know. There's been a lot of stuff going on lately, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just roll with it. And I do see some comments coming in. I just showed Michelle's up on screen. I'm showing Christian's right now. Hey, Christian, thank you so much for watching. And Shiana as well, watching us from Houston. So it looks like two thumbs up. The live stream is going on LinkedIn. And by the way, I do have this as a backup on YouTube. So if for any reason LinkedIn hicks up again, like it did last week, I'll just remind my guests to go on over to YouTube, just search for Brenda Meller Marketing, and you will find the stream there. But I think all the hiccups from last week are resolved, Annette, so we should be good to go. Now, you and I kind of know each other from within many circles. I don't even remember if it was on LinkedIn or was it through Clubhouse or kind of a combination of. Do you remember where we first met?
I think it was Clubhouse, actually. That's how I met so many really interesting, cool people. I never really thought a lot about LinkedIn. It was kind of set it and forget it for me, which I'm embarrassed to say now. And then I met all these interesting people on Clubhouse who were on LinkedIn. And that's really what drew me into LinkedIn was Clubhouse.
Yeah. So there we have it. Yeah. And I'm kind of remembering in the back of my mind too. I feel like Clubhouse, we started to talk a little bit and hear each other in the rooms and whatnot. But at any rate, we are glad to be here for all of you here today. And I want to encourage our guests. I've got a ticker running on screen right now. If you're watching us on LinkedIn or on YouTube, that says, hey, thanks for watching. Feel free to comment below the comment below so we know that you're watching. Even if it's just a hello, or you could say hello from Metro Detroit, or like Terry did, she said good morning in there. Drop a quick comment if you could, and then maybe tag someone in comments who might be interested in the topic. You can see the topic rather up on screen right now. It's leveraging TikTok and video marketing. So we're gonna jump right in here, Annette, because you and I in the pre-show, you were getting me super excited because you bought like a bag of tricks with you here today. But let's talk first of all, kind of take a step back. There may be people watching that are freaking out when we think about video in general. And I knew you've really embraced it. I have to think that you are one of the people that you were born with a video in hand or in a selfie. And you just were good on video from day one. So, or clarify that if you could, and then tell us a little bit about why we should get on video.
So I was not born with a video camera in my hand, but I was actually a media studies minor in college. So we were doing video newsletters, that were broadcast on a local station, et cetera. And so, I did do a lot of things, but when it came to me actually doing video of me, like talking into the camera, I put it off for years. I wanted to be thinner. I wanted to be younger. You know, I wanted to look better on camera, and I hate the sound of my voice. But I learned, because I did a little training myself, and I learned that um, nobody cares, right? Nobody cares what you look like. If I'm watching a video and I'm trying to learn something, I'm not looking at the speaker thinking, you know what? You know, she her hair doesn't look right, or oh, you know, why is she wearing that? All I
Right.
care about is the message. And you know, I think you will back me up on this. Anybody who is nervous about doing video, if they just do it, they'll get over it.
It's almost like Nike should be sponsoring video. Just do it,
Yeah,
because
right?
it really it's I think we all face the same fears the first time we do video. And it's probably not until our 10th or 20th or 50th video that we finally start to enjoy it. And then we can start to focus on more of the technical elements and the marketing elements and things like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's fun. For me, I'd rather do a video than write a text post because it's kind of fun. And I'm constantly learning. You know, we're talking about TikTok this morning. I learn from people on TikTok almost every single day. And I've learned so much about marketing and social media and things like learning how to cut my own hair during the pandemic. So
Fun.
TikTok, yeah, they have a lot on there.
Yeah, even my daughter, she finds recipes and she'll like, let's make this tonight. I say, well, where's the recipe? I'm looking for like the cookbook or the Pinterest page, or she's like, it's on TikTok, and she's got to like stop the video at every ingredient round
Uh-huh.
along there. So it's amazing how much social media has changed the way we work and we live. So you and we started to interact a lot more lately because I during the pandemic I was one of those people. I was doing like the dancing with my daughter videos. We were doing the little dances and stuff like that. And every now and again I would do something LinkedIn related, but I wasn't doing a heavy amount of it. And then I started doing more. And I was watching you, and I started following others in the LinkedIn community that were getting active on TikTok. And I started watching you, and I'm like, I can do this. And that makes it look so easy. So let's think about this. And for those folks that are open to this doing video marketing messages, how do we do this? How do you maybe get started on TikTok, or if you're already there, what should we be doing and thinking about as it relates to video?
Well, you know, I will say tell one thing if it's okay that I
Yeah.
do that helps me create videos, and it's something that I actually learned to do is that I try to record one line at a time instead of talking, getting on camera, because you know if you want to be on TikTok or even on Reels, right? Or Facebook, the videos on Facebook, I forget what they're called. Are those Reels too? And then there's
Reels,
YouTube
yeah.
Shorts and YouTube
Stories,
Shorts,
yeah.
you know, you want
Hmm.
to make them short. And so for me to make things short, I script out my little video, my little script, and then I record one line at a time. For me, that helps me kind of keep my energy up because allows me to talk and then take a break and then oh yes and then take a break, and then if I make a mistake I don't have to worry about doing like the whole video over again. So I mean that's just a little technique that I learned, that helps me do it. Maybe makes it look like it's easy, but I have fun with it, and you do too. I see you with Pepper walking the dog. That you
Yeah.
do those videos, and it's like a series that people are, I'm sure, knowing you for.
And it's part of your personal brand, and I've seen you do some really clever things with your videos too. And I watch you, I admire you, I
Oh,
you inspire me, and sometimes I mirror techniques that I see that you're doing, and I do so not in a way it's like I'm not like plagiarizing what Annette's doing, but I'm like kind of taking what she does as a part of her personal brand, and then I'm bringing in into my own. And I think is that part of it too. You got to kind of figure out because there's not one size fits all on TikTok, right?
absolutely, absolutely. That's how we all learn, right? We learn from others, then we teach people what we learn. And, there are so many people that you can follow on LinkedIn. I'm sorry, on LinkedIn, but also on TikTok who are doing really, really interesting things. And one thing I will say about TikTok that I think is even better in a way than LinkedIn as far as the algorithm, it will really, really show you things that you're interested in. And it also depends on your account. And I will say something that I've been doing some work for a someone who has a cars and coffee TikTok account. And when I go on there to work on that TikTok account, I see a whole different things than I do when I go on there to work on my own account. So I think the algorithm there is very, very responsive.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and I agree with you. I think the more time I spend on TikTok, the more relevant things I'm starting to see in my feed, and I'm starting to follow more relevant people, and I'm learning more from being on there as well. And I think LinkedIn and TikTok are similar. And would you agree with this too, Annette, in that you can't just go and publish content and then wait for the leads and inquiries to walk in. You've got to actually participate in the community to get more out of it. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, it does work the same way. You go on and you engage with others, and it sees that you are an active participant. Can we just say one thing about age? Now, I have had people that we both know that are maybe in their 40s, and they say, "Oh, my kids told me that I'm too old to be on TikTok." And I just want
Oh,
to say for anyone who thinks that, that is absolutely not true. That there
mhm.
are people of all different ages. There's a lot more educational videos on TikTok that I see that, you can actually learn from, and it doesn't have to be just a minute. It can be 3 minutes. It can be longer than
Yeah.
that.
You know what I think of when I hear that? I'm like, you know how your kids told you that, right? Because they don't want you on TikTok because they're on TikTok. That's why they
Probably.
want TikTok becoming like Facebook used to be for the younger kids, or, or the teenagers and young adults and stuff like that. And then all of us I got on it and we ruined Facebook. And I think there's a little bit of that concern too. Look, you're too old for TikTok. Tell them that to get them off because we don't want them infiltrating our world and seeing. I think I maybe a little part of it. What do you
It
think?
could be. It could be.
Yeah.
I don't have kids myself, but it sounds, remembering back when I was a young person, it could be.
Yeah, playing into our insecurities about our age maybe in there.
Could
So
be.
Annette, I know you've got some stuff you were showing me in the pre-show, and I want to jump in here. And as people are using their phones to capture videos, I was amazed at some of the stuff that you were showing me, and I'm like, because about a lot of this is it's the capture of the video, it's the technical element, capturing, and you wanna make sure that you're brightly lit, you've got good audio, and, many people watching here, we're not professional videographers. We don't even have a crew of people. If we're gonna do a video at all, we're gonna be doing this ourselves. So, what tips or techniques would you share with us?
Well, I would say if you want to get started, and I was just saying this the other day, all you need is right here. This is it. This is all you need is your phone. You don't need any fancy equipment. You can record. There are apps that you can record and edit and caption and everything for free on your phone. So you don't need anything. Yes, you can invest in different tripods and stuff. I have a few little toys that I use, but, you don't need anything. That's the thing, nothing but your phone.
Yeah, and we all have one. I
Yeah.
mean, I think even the reluctant people that were holding onto their landlines and their flip phones and stuff, they finally had to retire those because the next generation is out there. So I think we've all got them nowadays, and I even think, like, I think I have a digital camera someplace in the house. I don't know where it is
I know,
anymore,
me
but
too.
right? Like, now, like, this is the digital camera that I carry with me in the video, and, um, similarly, when I go out to presentations, I always tell people, like, "Take a picture if there's something you wanna remember that I'm sharing on the screen because you'll find that in your phone later, and then, you can even share it on social too."
And it's so interesting, as you know, I just came back from a conference and we had a
Yep.
professional photographer there, and he had his camera and everything set up, but he was taking most of the pictures with his phone because his
Hey,
phone was
wow.
even better. And I've had people tell me that if you have, particularly, he had like the branding newest phone, which I don't have, but the camera on your phone is really, really amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and the technology, like, to your point, is getting better and better with every generation. And I don't know about you, Annette, but I resist upgrading my technology. I hate getting a new laptop when my laptop dies, and I hate switching over my phone because I know they make it easy. You can, like, upload and download and save all the stuff, but you still gotta reset all of your apps and your home screen, and it's a huge inconvenience. But I do agree with you that technology is getting better and better, the video capture technology as well as the camera, the photography technology as well, and that can help us as TikTok creators, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, that's what you see everybody doing on TikTok. And there's so many people that I know that have actually two phones. And so they're on one
Yeah.
phone and then they're demonstrating or taking videos on their other phone. So it's just they even have something that I don't have that I've seen, because they say the camera on the back is better than when you turn it around to do the kind of the selfie talking head stuff that we do.
Mhm.
They have a mirror that you can attach so that you can have it facing you. It's just like there's always something new that you can use to make it easier.
Yeah. So speaking of things that can make things easier for us, do you want to talk about some of the tools and techniques?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
I brought a couple of things, and I know for me, and you were talking about the flip phone. I remember we started with our smartphones with the Android because it had the little keyboard in it and it made it easy.
Oh yeah.
So what I learned to do, and all this stuff I learned about on TikTok, is I use a stylus, and I think you
Mm.
mentioned that you have one too. And so you have the little end of it, and you can use that on your phone to edit and to do things like that, and it saves, if you have big fingers like me, and I'm always messing up, I have to type something in there 25 times, so there's that.
About
But
that.
one
And when you asked me, we were in the pre-show, we were talking about some of this stuff, and you're like, "Do you have a stylus?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't have." My husband has one of those phones like the stylus that pulls in and out of it. I think he's got an Android. I'm an iPhone user myself, but I said, "Hold on," and I've got a desk drawer right, and I opened up my desk drawer, and I think we've all got these nowadays. These pens that they give out. This one is from a company called MyQ. I think I got it as a conference. I think it was
Mhm.
Together Digital, if I'm not mistaken. I'll tag them in comments in a second here. But and it's a nice quality pen, but it's got a stylus on it,
Yeah.
and like I would wager that anybody who's watching this video right now has probably half a dozen of these pens. If you go out to conference and events, they're giving these away now. So I think we all have access to them. And I don't even think about using the stylus in that, but I'm gonna start trying that technique out. I think that's brilliant.
It helps me a lot. And so the other thing that I was showing you, and what do we know? We hear about lighting, and I have lights here. I'm sure you have lights in your little studio there. But the best light that you can get is from the window, right? It comes in.
Yeah,
And so one thing that I found that I think is the coolest is this. Okay.
yeah.
So this actually is a little thing, and it attaches to my phone, and
Look at
it
that.
sticks on the window. So, you can turn it around, you can stick it on your window, you can stick it on your fridge, you can stick it on a lot of things. And that way, if you're out and about and you want to start doing something, you can do that. I was telling you, I use this in my car. I put it on the car windows and I record, outside for those lazy TikTok video days that are very helpful. And the one last thing that I want to mention is this little thing because, when you're out, and I don't do this, I'm starting to do it to take videos if I'm out to use it as background or just talk wherever I am. And this is something that you can put like in your purse. It's actually a phone or, tripod, and you can just open it up. I'm sorry, I'm not quite used to doing
Yeah,
this.
that's okay. It gave me a second to type because I was trying to type this up and put it up on screen. I'm typing some
Okay.
tips and I said use a
And okay,
silicone.
I gotta back it up here. So
You
in
got
this,
it?
it
Okay.
sits like
Yep.
this. So it sits like this, but it's all, and you can adjust it like this and, up and down and whatnot. So
So you
anyway,
can use that because I'll tell people like take your own pictures. Like for example, for your profile photo, take your own photo at home if you don't have access to a photographer, if you don't have the budget for it. I always recommend photographers if you can, but if you don't, then use that, set it up on a bookshelf or something. And a lot of times, like we set it on a bookshelf and it slides off. So I like the silicone phone case mount. That's a brilliant tip because I agree with you. The best lighting source that you can get is daylight, as long as you're not squinting from the sun. You know,
right. And
right?
it's just very handy to have if you want to, like we have a sunroom, so I can go out there and put it on my sliding glass door and stand there and talk, and you can just put it whatever height is comfortable for you without having to worry about it. And all of these things are not, I mean, most of the things that you see they're not expensive. They're like
They're
less
not.
than 10
They're
bucks.
not. And they're not, like, hundreds of dollars of worth of equipment that you need to get. I love that silicone. I don't have one of those, and I'm like, you were showing me that this morning, and I'm like, it reminds me I don't know if anyone watching this is thinking the same thing. Hold it up again if you could, because it reminded me of pop sockets. Like, that's the big thing that kids are I think they're still kinda big. I don't know, maybe they're winding down a little bit, but they remind me of pop sockets, but maybe that's, like, the adult version of the pop sockets because it's not you're not flipping them in and out, but it's used to just mount your phone on the window, right?
Yeah, well, I don't have kids, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
But,
But now that I said that, pay attention because when you see like giveaway items or you're looking at like if you ever walk to the store and you see party favors and stuff like the pop sockets are one of the things that they're giving out and they're basically like those suction things but you flip them back and forth and they're not suction they're just for manipulating back and forth
oh,
in there but it
okay.
reminds me very much of that. So Awesome. So far you talked to us about the stylus pen, or stylus. I say stylus pen because I have a stylus pen, but the stylus and using that
Mhm.
because we, we often talk about did we fat finger it? Did you type it in wrong or click the wrong button? And this little tip can help us to get a little bit more efficient when we're using technology like TikTok and even some of the video editing software and stuff. By the way, do you use CapCut or Clips, or what are you using for video editing, Annette?
So, I learned on Clips, so Clips is kind of a go-to for me, but I also do, use CapCut, and one of the things that is, I like about CapCut is if I create a video outside of Clips and I upload the video, I can edit it, but I can't add captions. But if I have a video I created on my phone and I upload it to CapCut, I can add captions and whatnot, and of course, you can do that on TikTok as well, and the thing about CapCut that's nice if you're just starting and you're going to be on TikTok is they're owned by the same company, so the editing is virtually the same.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
good to know. Yeah.
it's virtually the same, the editing and everything. And when you do go, when you upload on TikTok, um, just like LinkedIn, they roll out things and you get them, but you don't know. And then all of a sudden you have them. And
Mhm.
one thing that they're rolling out that I got recently is that you can create your videos in TikTok and then download them before you post them so you don't have the watermark. So,
Oh, that's good to know.
so
Yeah.
that's something, that you can look for. But, if you're doing something on CapCut, you can use that and download it before you put it upload it on TikTok. You can use that same format and you can use that format on Clips as well and use it on all your social media. You know,
Now
your
that brings up an interesting question I wanted to ask you about. I'm glad that you brought this up. I didn't know that TikTok and CapCut are owned by the same company because I think sometimes we have to understand that each of these networks, their goal is to keep you on their platform and on their site. And in the back of your mind, I've always wondered, like, where is there a penalty if I export a CapCut video and upload it into TikTok? There's no branding, so I don't think I have that. If I download a TikTok video and upload it into YouTube, or rather into, could be YouTube, but in this case, LinkedIn, is there a penalty for that? Because it's still an MP4 video, but it has branding that's been built in. Are you aware of
I
anything about
I
that,
I
Annette?
am not aware. I
Okay.
have heard, but I don't know. I don't post a lot of my TikTok videos on LinkedIn. Um, but one thing that I will say, and there is the thing that we all know, the preferred formats. This what we're in right now, this preferred
Mhm.
the portrait for TikTok,
Like
Instagram,
this
the,
landscape,
the
or right now, like each of us individually are in a
yeah,
portrait
or in the
format.
portrait.
Right.
So that is the preferred.
Okay.
Square is kind of the best for LinkedIn, right? I mean, if you have the
Mhm.
square one to one, and then of course we have the YouTube, the landscape that we all think of when we think of video. Now, I have posted square videos on TikTok. I create them for LinkedIn, put them on TikTok. If the content is good, people will watch them.
Okay.
I've even posted landscape videos that I've gotten. Now, I have heard that TikTok does penalize you if you do stuff outside of TikTok and upload it. However, what you can do, say, for example, is you can upload your video, you can create it, unless you do it with CapCut, and then you can post it directly to
Right, that's
TikTok and
true.
CapCut.
And I
Because
wondered about that too. Is it now that you told me they're owned by the same company, I'm more open to doing that because I always felt like, well, it's probably better to upload an MP4 as opposed to cross promote from one network to another. So do you use that function in CapCut and just
I,
directly post to TikTok?
I do sometimes. I really kind of take stuff and upload it up and down. But what I
Yeah.
have heard is that if you do a video outside of a TikTok and then you upload it to TikTok, if you do even minor editing or add the captions in TikTok, that counts as working on it on TikTok. And
Okay.
all of these apps have different functionality. Like TikTok has really cool music. And I will
Yeah.
say one thing, that they're very, very strict about the music that you use. So, because
Mm,
you would talk to me at message me once about using music on LinkedIn.
yeah. Okay, good to know. So, and I know a lot of these have different music libraries and beds and things like that. And I've always kind of treated it as, if I'm gonna be uploading it to Instagram, I'm gonna choose from the Instagram music library. If I upload it to TikTok, I'm gonna upload it from CapCut to TikTok and then choose TikTok's music library. LinkedIn, I have heard of issues where if people are pulling music in from another network, the video can get copyright, like a ding for copyright violation or things like that. So I try to like use the music from within the network. I feel like that's a pretty good practice, and I'm not like a video pro by any means, but that's what I'm using. Annette, do you think that's a good rule of thumb, or any thoughts on
What
that?
well, I will tell you, and I wouldn't consider myself an expert either, but I
Yeah.
did try to, I did in fact upload a video on TikTok that I think I had taken it in my car and I had the music playing or something like that, and they
Okay.
removed it.
Okay.
They're
Oh
very
yeah.
strict. They're very strict about their music guidelines, and
Yeah.
it depends on whether or not you have a business account or a personal account as to the music that you have access to too. It's just like all these little things we could talk about for
Interesting.
forever.
Now that you say that, I'm like, I don't know if my account on TikTok is a business or a personal account. Now I'm going to have to go look back. Do you know what the differences are between those? And I'm putting you on the spot. So if you don't, that's okay.
Well, no, I can give you a few differences. One of the
Sure.
differences is that, as I'm sure you know, for people who don't know, you cannot put a link in your bio on TikTok until you get 1,000 followers with a personal account. They want to, feel like that you've been on there.
Okay.
However, it is easier. You can get a link in your bio with fewer than 1,000 followers if you have a business account. But that has
Okay.
changed a little bit. So I'm not quite sure. That's how it was when I first started. So sometimes people will set up I mean, there's a lot of things with TikTok. Like you can't go live with TikTok until you have 1,000 followers. That's kind of their
Okay.
um, I don't know what you'd call that
Your
baseline.
guidelines or
Yeah,
something.
baseline to
Yeah.
do some things going live, put a link in your bio, and who doesn't want to have a link in their bio, right?
Well, now that you say that, I'm like, I gotta look back up, and I know I have well under 1,000 followers because I'm dabbling. I'm just dabbling in TikTok, but I don't know if it's business or personal. So I'm like, there's some things I'm even learning, and maybe others that are watching are learning as well. And speaking of others that are watching, I want to change gears a little bit here, and I want to see if anyone has any questions or if you'd like to add your thoughts to the conversation. Don't be shy. This is your time. Go ahead and drop a comment in now. And I've already seen a few comments, Annette, that are coming in that I'm going to pull back up on screen. I'm going to pull us back in our view a little bit here. So we're not doing I like to call it the Wilson from Home Improvement, where we're reading over the comments. 'Cause the comment, you know what I'm talking about? Remember that show where Wilson was always there with
Oh
the fence and we had to like look over and we get some really big comments. Let me show you an example of that. So like there's a longer comment. This one's not too long, but sometimes we get the comments that are like a paragraph long and then we have to kind of look over top of them. So this is my kind of technique is just going into the wider view in the live stream here. So we have a comment from Shanna saying, I agree, the natural light works beautifully. When it's not available, the ring light that clips onto the iPhone works well. Also a giveaway from a conference. So Sheena, if you have the name of the company, please tag them into comments because I'm a big proponent of let's give shout outs to these people because they give us free merch. And just like I had my little pen with my cue, I need to tag them into comments right now. We'll give them a shout out in the comments there. Um, so natural light and then ring light. What are you using right now, Annette, for the live stream that you're doing? Is it a ring light or what are you using?
no, I have actually 2 lights that I'm using
Okay.
now for the live stream, one on either side, and one is
Yeah.
Logitech, and I forget what the other one is, so
Okay.
that's how and part of it is because I wear glasses. So
Yeah,
for
and you
me
got worry about the glare, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you worry about the glare.
Yeah. Good to know. Well, thank you for sharing that. I always love seeing the behind the scenes, like what lighting kits and people are using and that kind of stuff. And I switched out my ring light. I had a cheap one that I bought from Amazon. I got a replacement. The arm broke on the second one. And then I was using like a cell phone light, which wasn't ideal. Now I've got, oh gosh, what's it called? Elgato Key Light Air. I heard about it from, I belong to a speaking group, Innovation Women. I think you're a member of that group too, aren't you?
I am, and I learned about it from you, yeah.
So there you go. So and I was on an Innovation Women. They do this Friday speaker friends call, and I asked the question. I'm like, I need a new ring light. Mine's broken, and I sometimes get headaches from having the lights on. I'll get migraines and stuff. And they said this light is actually very migraine friendly because you can adjust the tones and stuff with it. So at any rate, that was a great comment from Shanna about natural light. Hey, our good friend John Esperian is in the audience. Thank you so much for joining us, John. And John says he hasn't seen any evidence of watermarked videos having their reach dinged when shared on LinkedIn. So that's a good thing, Annette. And I think we're all
Yeah,
talking here about like uploading an MP4. from another network into LinkedIn to do that workaround, as opposed to just posting directly from, like, posting a TikTok link, which I'm not even sure you could do without a TikTok account. Like, I know you could do it on YouTube. I don't know. Can you do that from TikTok to LinkedIn? Like, post a direct link to the video post, you know?
I no, I don't know because I'm
I don't
just
know if
so
you can.
used to always uploading my videos because I think they get better reach on TikTok I mean, that LinkedIn prefers that we upload, so I just do that automatically. But it's good to know because John is the tester, so if he's
Yeah.
found that, then I trust what he says.
Yeah, and John's admitting he's very much a consumer on TikTok, and I think that's where a lot of us, myself included, started. A consumer, like, we have the TikTok app and we scroll through and we watch things, but we're not much into creators. He said he's only done a handful of videos there and played a little bit with the filters. Um, Related to kind of playing around with TikTok, I saw this comment from Thurman. I wanted to bring it up on screen, Annette, and see if you've experienced this. Thurman, thank you so much for watching. Thurman says, every time I try to record in TikTok, my audio always looks out of sync while recording. Have you ever experienced that, and any thoughts on troubleshooting?
So I think it's because I rarely record on TikTok, but I have heard from a TikTok teacher that I follow that that does happen. And so she recommends um, recording elsewhere and then uploading to TikTok. And, her account, she is absolutely incredible. And I will tell you, Brenda, if people want to learn about TikTok and how to do things, they should follow her. Her handle is the mothership.
Okay.
And I
That's
can
at Mothership on TikTok?
no, it's let's see.
She's looking it up. This is what we do in my video, folks. We're not ready for everything. We think about adding in additional items for you. And Annette's going to look up the name, and then as soon as she tells me, I'm going to type it and put it up on screen so that she and I can look this up in the playback. I don't know. That's my little hack for all of you. But then for all of you as well, if you want to look this up, this is a TikTok account that you're looking up right now, Annette?
Yes, it
Okay.
is called. I'm typing it in our chat here. And
Oh,
that
thank you for
is
doing that. She's
the
putting it in the private
account.
chat and StreamYard
And
for me.
this is and I will just show you. I will just show you. This is her account, and she is absolutely incredible. She teaches you how to do all the cool things, and she has a free newsletter that comes out on Mondays with all kinds of tips. I mean, there's a lot of social media coaches that I follow on TikTok, but she is absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing.
Good to know.
And
And by the way, for those folks that are watching us today, whether you're watching this live or playback, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you're watching, if you have favorite TikTok accounts that you're following, either they have really great marketing techniques, clever videos, things like that, do let us know. I'm going to give a shout out right now to I'm trying to remember who it was. ESPN. So I don't know if you've been following the Taylor Swift. I don't even know the name of the football player. I apologize. I don't know his name, but she was at a game over the weekend in the suite with the mom, and they've got all these videos going around right now. And ESPN is like really playing it up right now. Because she's this uber celebrity dating this football player, and they're doing a lot of they're playing into it right now. It's really funny to see, but I'm not a sports person. Obviously, I don't even know the name of this football player, but it made me look up their TikTok account, and now I'm following it, and I actually appreciate the personality that's coming in. My husband's probably excited because I'm following and talking about ESPN. Sorry, sweetie, I'm never gonna pick it up. But sometimes you see accounts on TikTok and you're like, "Oh, that's really clever." And
it, it
and you probably do that too, Annette, and then you figure out, like, how can I learn from them and incorporate their techniques, right?
Yes, there are, and I watch a couple of accounts, and one of them is Layla the boxer. Now, this is a woman actually just had a baby. She has these two dogs, and she does all these really interesting videos. I've shared a couple of them on LinkedIn, and she is really just genius with it. And so yes, it's just like on LinkedIn. You follow people on LinkedIn that you want to learn from, and you learn techniques and things that they do. Same thing with TikTok. I think same thing with any platform. And TikTok is so. We were talking a little bit before the for the show is
Mhm.
very attuned. The algorithm. If you look at it, like I look at a lot of dog videos, a couple of accounts. So I see a lot of that. I see a lot of social media coaches because that's what I follow. And I was doing something for someone else on their account on TikTok, and I saw a whole different range of things because it was sort of a guy's car show account. And so it's really, really attuned to, I think, your account and
Mhm.
also what you watch.
Yeah, good point. And the more time you spend, again, that's a point I want to make sure that you reiterate. The more time you spend on TikTok, the more you'll get out of TikTok. And you've got to be both a consumer, like John was mentioning, he's a consumer of TikTok, but also a user of TikTok. And I think that's for me where I've started to learn what works and what doesn't work just by trying things out and seeing what people are responding to. By the way, I'm so glad, Thurman, that you asked this question because Annette and I were talking about this in the pre show. And Thurman, you said that silicone thing is a great idea. I love recording in the sun. Annette should drop her Amazon affiliate link. And Annette, she and I were talking about this in the pre-show. And I said, "Do you have one?" And she's like, "Well, I don't want to like drop it in because I hate when people come on video and they sell, sell, sell." And I said, "No, but if the fact that you don't want to drop it, like I will bring it up if it doesn't come up." And I'm so glad that Thurman asked the question because Annette is not being sponsored or endorsed by any of these companies, but she's giving shout outs to these products. So why wouldn't she benefit as an affiliate partner? So yeah, she does have a page, and I'm going to drop this into the LinkedIn as well right now. If you want to check out her page where she's listing all of these products, and I think I'm going to share this up on screen right now. Annette, you have no choice because I'm managing. I know you're like, "Oh, I don't know if we should do this." I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this because I want to show people the product tree that you've created." And you and I both applied for the Amazon affiliate. I don't even know what the program's called.
The influencer one, yeah.
Is that
That's
what it's called? And they
yeah,
said, "No, you're not important enough."
yeah,
Right?
that's me.
So we said, "That's fine if you're not going to give us our own page." I love this, and I don't have this. I do have on my website, if you go to mellermarketing.com/special offers, I will list out some of my affiliate links and some of which you get a discount, some of which I get incentivized if you purchase through my links. But I love that you've created an Amazon tree for people that can go out and purchase some of these products. And you can see if you click on, I'm just going to click on the first one, the silicone suction phone mount. Let me just pull this into the next screen so you all can see this. This was the same thing that she had just shown us up on screen. She held it up on there so you can check. Look at that, $9.99, $10. You can get one of these babies and pop it onto your window and film yourself and get great sunlight on there. So thank you, Annette, for allowing us to share that. Yeah. Want to see if there's any other comments that are coming in on there. Let's see. Is TikTok, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier because Annette was saying like one of her friends or kids were saying, "You're too old for TikTok." Saeed, thank you so much for watching, is asking Annette, is TikTok good for any specific generations? What are your thoughts there?
I think it's good for everyone. I really do. I think it's great for everyone. Though the account that I recommend that you follow, who is about from a woman who she said this on screen. She's like in her 60s. Okay. And
Yeah.
she knows all the coolest things, how to do everything on TikTok. There are still, people, there's kids dancing. There's people my age dancing. She's been on there dancing. I don't think there is an age. I think it's all about being entertaining. If I have a TikTok video and I'm here and I'm talking about this great thing that I learned about, nobody wants that. But if you're just a little energetic and you have some good content, I really do believe that that's the same for all platforms. It's the content. It's the
Yeah, I,
content.
I I would agree, and I think you have to figure out where can your audience be found. And, like for me, primarily my audience is on LinkedIn because I've built up a pretty large following and I'm active here all the time. But through my podcast, I am reaching new people that are podcast listeners that are not as active on LinkedIn yet. Through TikTok, and I don't know if I told you this, Annette, but over the past few months, as I've started to weave in more mentions of LinkedIn and LinkedIn tips and being in LinkedIn jail and things like that, I'm now having people that are finding me, emailing me, and I said, "Where did you hear about me?" TikTok. They aren't even finding me on LinkedIn, they're finding me on TikTok. So I think if you lean into it a little bit and let's see if the audience can be found out on there. I want to get so one final question here, and this is another question from Thurman. I was going to just go into our closing, but I'm like, this is a good question, and I think Annette knows the answer to this one. Thurman says, "How do I get my background to not be backwards on TikTok?" Do you know what he's referring to there?
Yeah, yeah. If you were recording right now, Brenda, with your t-shirt on, I think this is what he's meaning. That if I'm recording, it would be backwards. There's a filter. Obviously, Thurman is on TikTok. He knows what he's talking about. So if you go into the filters, the filter is called inverted, I believe, and you can use that. I use that all the time, along with the various green screen
Yeah.
backgrounds, which I think, Bender, you're starting to use those green screen backgrounds too, I think.
I've dabbled in them a little
Okay.
bit. I try to use natural backgrounds where I can, but sometimes I do the blur and I try to do different backgrounds in there as well. So Annette, before we move into close, I was going to mention it, and luckily my husband is watching the video this morning because I want to just stand up and show my shirt here. This is actually something that we got made in 2020. It says our 17th wedding anniversary, the one we were in quarantine. Our sister-in-law made this for us in 2020. Today is our 20th wedding anniversary. So happy anniversary to my husband Chris, who is watching in the other room. And yeah, I love that he's on LinkedIn because I do this for a living, and you know how hard it is to get your spouse to come on LinkedIn when you do this for a living. It's pretty hard. You know what I'm
Oh
talking
yeah.
about, Annette, right?
Oh, I sure
So,
do.
but he also gave me a plug. Brenda is amazing, so hair training you won't be sorry. So thank you, Chris, for watching. We appreciate it.
Oh, that I didn't know your anniversary was today. I saw you posting about it on Facebook, but it's actually today.
Yeah, so we did they have the Friends experiences traveling around the country. It's kind of like the set that you can buy tickets and walk around in there. If you follow me on instagram.com/Meller Marketing, you can see some of the photos that we captured. And we both wore our matching t-shirts because we are that cheesy couple. We have a couple sets of matching t-shirts that we wear, and this is the one that we wore, even though it's a 3 years ago t-shirt. It still worked well for the Friends exhibit. And thank you all so much. I see comments that are coming in. We appreciate that. So Annette, back to you here. I know that we were talking today about leveraging TikTok and video marketing. First of all, if people are interested in working with you, can you remind us what are the services and offerings that you have?
So I do a variety of things. Of course, I work on LinkedIn, like kind of like everybody does these days, but I do some video coaching so I can help people get started with LinkedIn if they want some advice. I do some LinkedIn live coaching. So if you want to get started doing a LinkedIn live, I can help you with that. So it's really kind of that type of service, those types of services, I should say.
And the website is at thepersonalbrandyou.com that people could go to if they wanted to learn more.
It's actually the new Black Dog marketing strategies. Personal Brand New is still up there too, if you're looking
Okay.
for.
So what's the web address for that? Because I want to put that up on screen right now.
It's blackdogmarketingstrategies.com.
Blackdogmarketingstrategies.com. And Annette and I, we both have black dogs. So when she said that that was the name of her company, I was like, that's so cool. Is this it? And let me share it on screen. I should probably share my screen as I'm talking about this because I have it opened up in the background here. And I think this is it, right?
That's it. And those are our dogs. That's Emma and Katie.
Oh, I love it. And we both are very much open about sharing photos of our dogs, sometimes in our videos on TikTok, sometimes in our LinkedIn posts as well. So, congratulations on the new business branding. And speaking of business branding, we were talking about this in the pre show as well. You've now linked this on your profile on LinkedIn as well. Is that right, Annette?
That is correct. And you told me that I did it wrong. And I learned from you before I even got on air today.
Aw. Well, it wasn't that you did it wrong. You did it right, but there's an additional technique, and I'm glad that you did it the way that you did. And I always tell people I don't make mistakes, I have learning experiences. And the only reason I know this is because I've done the same thing as well. I can see that Black Dog Strategies is at the top of your profile, so it is your top employer in your experience section. But what you could do is to get the benefit of that notification going out to your network. I see here that you put a start date of July 2023, which is factually correct. But did you know that when you add a new position to your profile, or if you update your profile with a promotion, if you want to get the benefit of that notification going out to your network, congratulate Annette on being named personal brand architect at Black Dog Strategies. It has to be in the month that you're in. So because you put July, LinkedIn said, oh, well, that's old news.
Yeah.
It's not considered new. And then when you add it to your experience section at the very top, there's a little link at the top that says notify network, and you have to have that toggled to on. For those of you that are following me on LinkedIn or connected with me, you may have noticed in the past few weeks you got a notification that said, "Congratulate Brenda on 7 years at Meller Marketing." That was because I had that notify network turned on. So the only thing that goes out now are new jobs, promotions, or work anniversaries, but if you have that on. So if you wanted to get that benefit, Annette, I think you'd have to delete this off of your profile, add it back in with the month that you added in. So if it's September, put September as the start date, toggle that to on. But in the meantime, I want to encourage people to connect with you on LinkedIn. And I think you've got creator mode on your profile. Is that right?
I sure do.
So tell us instructions if we want to connect with you. How do we do so?
So if you want to connect with me, since I have creator mode on, you won't see the connect button. So you click on the more and then you go to connect, and that will give you the option to connect and send a personal note to me. And please say that you saw me here with my friend Brenda Meller, and I'm happy to connect with you.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And yes, definitely do the shout out in the invitation. Just say, "Hey, I saw you talking to Brenda," or if you can't remember my name when it happens, "I saw you talking with that other dog-loving lady about TikTok." And mention that in there. It's a great way of getting your invitation accepted and getting some great conversation started. And Annette, any final comments for us? There might be some folks that are watching that are thinking about TikTok or doing a little bit more video right now. So any final comments for them before we wrap up?
Yeah, my final comment is really just do it. Just give it a try. I was just at a conference and I was talking about this, and I met a guy who was in my session at the airport, and he said I was about to do something else, but I decided, you know what, let me I downloaded CapCut, and I uploaded a video, and I added music, and I added this. And he said, I realized, what am I afraid of? So don't be afraid, just do it. And the more you do it, the more fun that you will have.
I completely agree with you. The first video is going to feel as awkward as all get out. I mean, there's no way of working around it. But the good thing is you can delete the video and re-upload and delete and do another video again and again until you're happy with it, right?
Well, but don't delete off TikTok because they don't like that. So if you want
Oh,
to
okay.
do something, so if you upload something on TikTok and you don't like it, just set it to private so only you can see it.
Yeah, good point. I did not know that. So deleting off of TikTok can be a
Yeah, they don't
penalty.
like
All right.
that.
Good. Well, so many good things that I learned watching. I'm going to rewatch the replay as well. And I see our good friend Sue Griffey came on. She came on a little late. She said she's going to watch the replay
Hi,
for everything that she
Sue.
missed through live. So thank you so much, Sue, for popping in. We appreciate that. And yes, the replay is available. So as soon as the video is done playing, I want to let you all know what happens here on LinkedIn. As soon as you're done watching the video, as soon as it ends, you're going to see a share link at the bottom. If you want, you can click to share that out. When you do so, tell people something that you learned by watching this video. Maybe it was some of the techniques that we talked about today. Maybe it's just about video marketing or about TikTok specifically, but tell people something that you learned and why they should watch the video. When you do share it along, we want to encourage you to tag us and use the little at sign when you tag us. It's a little bit hard to see in the text below, but it's the at sign at Annette Richmond, at Brenda Meller. And that way we will get the benefit of knowing that you've talked about us, and we will jump on into your comments and add a comment as well. By the way, Annette and I are both enthusiastically self employed, which means we do not get performance reviews anymore. So before you leave here today, we'd love if you could tell us in comments if you found this video helpful. If you would give us a 5-star review, we'll take that as well. I like hearing that feedback, and I'm not shy about asking for it because how do you know? Like, I think it was good. Do you think it was good? Yeah, but did they think it was good? I thought this
Mm.
was a really great conversation, though, Annette. So delighted to have you, and looking forward to having you back. And we're talking maybe about meeting again in New York
Well,
City. So
actually,
hopefully
you
we'll
are
see
going
you
to be
then.
on my show talking about podcasting in just a
That's
few
right.
weeks.
That's right. Do we have the date lined up for that? Do you know
We
that date
we
offhand? I'm
we
putting you on the
do, we
spot right
do.
now.
I think it's October. I have to pull it up
Let's see
here.
who can find it first, and maybe one of our guests. But I'm going to look at my calendar real quick. I'm going to search for your name, and
Okay.
then let's see if I can find it or you can find it first.
I can find it
Uh,
'cause I'll look on my calendar here,
Smarter
and
Business Moves with LinkedIn Live with Annette Richmond, Thursday, October 19th at 11 a.m.
yes, which will be fun. So we're going to talk about podcasts, which is another thing that we both like. So should
Yes,
be fun.
absolutely. So I will make sure to find that link and I'll drop it into comments for those folks that want to register. And thank you again, everyone, for watching us today. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing your shares on LinkedIn. Stay safe and stay healthy. And Annette, thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brenda.
All right, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we will see all of you on LinkedIn. Take care.